We are talking about parallel lines cut by a transversal, and we're using the angle relationships to solve for unknown values. In this case, we're solving for x. And we have the 5 steps to follow in order to find our solution. The first thing, before we do anything, we have to understand if they're parallel. If they're not parallel, we stop right there. But in this case, we see one arrow and one arrow on these two lines. So they are parallel. And then we want to identify the angle relationship. So in this case, if we were driving up the transversal and then we had upper left is 129 degrees, and we're driving along this transversal and upper left. So in this case, we're talking about corresponding angles. And when we're thinking about the equation, we don't have any variables to write out. But what we need to know about corresponding angles are they are congruent, and that means that they are equal. So we can set those two things equal to each other and go ahead and solve it. So we can say 129 is equal to 3 times x plus 9, and we can distribute the 3, and we get 129 is equal to 3x plus 27. And then we can do our inverse operation, or subtraction property of equality. And then we get 102 is equal to 3x, and divide by 3, the division property of equality, and we get 34 is equal to x. In that case, it didn't say anything else other than that, just solve for x. So next we have problem 1 and problem 2, and we're going to go ahead and follow those same steps. First step is, are they parallel? So we have one triangle here and one triangle here, so yes, these are parallel. What's the angle relationship? In this case, they're both on the same side, because I could cover them up with my pen here. So they're both on the same side, and they're both interior. So this is consecutive interior. And what's the relationship? In this case, they both add up to equal. If we add them together, they'd be 180 degrees. So we can write our equation. The two angle measures added together should equal 180 degrees. So 75 plus 4x minus 9 is equal to 180 degrees. Then we can do substitution property of equality, because 75 minus 9 is the same thing as saying 66. Plus 4x equals 180 degrees. Next, we can do the subtraction property of equality. If we subtract from both sides of the equal sign, and then we get 4x is equal to 114. And then we do the division property of equality. If we divide both sides, and then we is equal to 28.5. Next, we're looking at example 2, or problem 2. And again, the first step we want to do is we want to decide, are they parallel? In this case, we have one arrow and one arrow. So the answer is yes. Next, we want to decide what's the relationship. So we were talking about this angle here and this angle here. Here's the interior, and I don't cover up either one of those, so I know that we're talking about exterior angles. And the 7 times the quantity x minus 19 is on the lower side of this, so those are going to be alternate exterior. And we know about any alternate interior or alternate exterior. Those are congruent, or also that means that they are equal. So what we can do is we can set up those two things equal to each other and solve it. So 84 is equal to 7 times the quantity x minus 19. If we distributive property of equality, we get 84 is equal to 7x minus 133. The addition property of equality, and then that tells us that 217 is equal to 7x. Divide by 7, and we get 31 is equal to x.